Welcome back, everybody. This is Excel video 489. I'm Nate Moore. If you're watching these videos as they're released at moresolutionsinc.com, this is the first video of 2016. So thanks for joining me for another year of Excel videos. This is going to be a good one. In a couple of months, we'll hit the 500th Excel video. I've got a big contest, giveaway, promotion, celebration thing planned and coming. So stay tuned as we get a little closer to 500 Excel videos. I'll tell you more about it. Last time we did slicers as a chart. And it was, isn't this clever? You can make a chart, a slicer, and you can click Medicare here, and it'll make this a slicer, and it's, isn't that clever? And it is. Something you can't do in Excel, and that's great, but it takes up space. And if you wanted to have 4 or 5 slicers lined up and different things that you want, a year or a diagnosis code, maybe you want to look at a procedure code category or referring physician or whatever, and you want to line all those up, you just don't have enough real estate for all that. So here's a maybe step back a bit, a more vanilla kind of slicer, and some tricks around how to build it. First thing to build a slicer, let's pick a field. Referring group works for me. We'll grab that, bring it over here. Now we have referring group, and let's make it a bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. So now I have referring group in there as a slicer. Let's see what we might be able to do to play with it. The first thing to do when you build a slicer is to know that you can only have one field in this table to do it. If I started to add more fields, see, slicer is where I'm going. If I added provider to this, slicer grays out. I can't do a multi-field slicer. You can do a bunch of slicers. You can do 4 or 5 slicers, no problem. You just can't put more than one field in a slicer. So now that I have one field, we'll click slicer here from the design tab on the ribbon. Notice now I have a little box here. I have a slicer, and if I click board, I'm going to start to filter. Or I can click color and I filter. I can hold down Control or Shift, and I can multi-select, just what you expect to see if you're used to slicers in a traditional Excel. So that's no big deal. That's easy. If I wanted to clear the filter, this little eraser up here will do it. And come here. There we go. Now I've cleared the filter, and I have all my data again. That makes sense. The other thing you need to understand about a slicer is if I click in this chart, there's filters for the entire page and the view, and there's filters for the chart. If I click on the slicer, I don't have any slicer-specific filters. You can't filter a slicer. A slicer is a filter. You can't filter the filter, if you will. The other thing you should understand about a slicer is that the filters at the, let's click back over here, at the view and the chart level are going to trump or supersede the filters that you have here. So Excel is going to apply these filters first and then look to see what's available in the slicer, if that makes sense. So now I have my slicer. I can do color, I can do flag or house or whatever. The thing that was a bit confusing to me, if you will, is, okay, I get that I can erase and clear the filter off there, but there's no X up there. I can't exit out. I can't right-click and delete the slicer. How do I get rid of the slicer? Where's the delete button? And the delete button is on your keyboard. That's where it is. So you highlight the slicer, you hit delete, and that's how to get rid of a slicer. So we talked about one field only. We've talked about you can't filter a slicer. It is what it is. You can't filter a filter, if you will. We've talked about how to select, multi-select, how to clear that slicer out of there. That's what I want to tell you about slicers in PowerView. So we've got several different ways to filter and see exactly what we need to see. And those slicers are a good interactive way for folks that aren't as familiar. If it were me, I'd probably hide this filters tab if I had folks that were new to PowerView and just let them play with whatever slicers I built. That's what I wanted to show you about slicers. Stay tuned. There's more to say about PowerView, and we'll do it in the next Excel video. Thanks for watching.